Hi and welcome to the giandjo channel. I am Jo and it is so good to have you here with me today. So today we're going to start a new series called Did You Know?, which explores some of the behind the scenes sort of things that singers and musicians experience while playing, writing, recording, being on stage. Things you just may never have known about and might find a little interesting. So in today's video, I thought we'd start by talking about pitchy, or singing off pitch. Now, if you watch shows like American Idol or The Voice, any of those types of shows, you've undoubtedly heard the term pitchy. If you don't know what that means, it simply means the singer is singing flat or sharp. Flat being underneath the note they should be on, or sharp, which is up above the note they should be on, or continuously missing their notes, fluctuating in pitch throughout the whole performance. Okay, I mean, it has to be said that not everybody is a great singer, and yes, some people just simply have pitch problems because they just can't hear the notes. But we're not really talking about that today. We're talking more about singers that are otherwise good singers, and should you write them off as being bad singers because they miss a few notes during the performance. Now, some of the best singers out there, if you listen to their live performances, are a bit pitchy here and there. Now, there's plenty of reasons why a singer may be flat or sharp. There may be technique issues like not enough breath support or carrying too much tension in the vocal cords. Maybe he or she is sick or overly tired. Now, a seasoned singer can usually nip those kind of issues in the bud with the proper tools and technique, but a newbie may need to do some work and learn some good vocal technique if there is a consistent pitch problem. But let's put that aside for now. We're going to talk about another issue that could be causing your favorite artist to be a little pitchy during a performance. Chances are he or she is simply having technical difficulties. Yep, technical difficulties. And it all has to do with what the singer is hearing on stage versus what they're singing during the show. Now, what do I mean by hearing? If you stand on a stage while musicians are playing in the background, it's loud. There's really no way a singer can hear themselves sing if there's no monitor or amplification of their own voice in front of them or in their ears. Excuse me, or in their ears. Now, it used to be that we all used stage monitors, you know, those boxes with speakers that you would see lining the front of the stage in front of the singer or the musicians. Those are called stage monitors. And they're used for the musicians and the singers to hear themselves over the noise of the instruments. Now today, we also use little gadgets called in-ear monitors, which go directly in your ears. Say hello to my little friends. These are, I don't know if you can see them, in-ear monitors. And these little guys, I don't know if you can see, but these go directly in your ears so you can hear very well. Now they do, I'm going to put these down, excuse me. Now they look a little like hearing aids, right? And in a way they are. As a matter of fact, the first time, and this was years ago, but the first time I saw one of these in a singer's ear, I thought, oh my gosh, that poor person, they've got a hearing aid and they can't hear anymore. They've gone deaf from all the stage noise. Well, come to find out they were just in-ear monitors. And now pretty much everybody uses them, rather than just the stage monitors that we used to use, which are fraught with all kinds of potential problems, like feedback, harsh sound, etc. I could go on and on about that. I've driven many a sound man probably crazy trying to get the right sound in my monitors. Anyways, I digress. Some artists still do opt for stage monitors, and some like a combination of the two, and some just opt for the in-ear option, which I do, I prefer. However, even with the in-ears, which are directly in your ear, there are still many variables that can really mess a singer up. So if you're still on the same page with me here, I'm going to go into why this can make a singer pitchy. We're getting there, okay? Now, in the in-ears or stage monitors, the singer or musician has a mix of the band and the vocal in their ear or coming directly from the stage monitor. Now, if that mix isn't right, it causes problems. For instance, let's say the singer has too much of the instrument in the mix or in their ears. Then obviously the singer is going to use too much voice power to sing over the instruments in order to hear their own voice. I mean, you can liken it to being in a loud restaurant or having a conversation in a loud restaurant. I mean, it won't be long until your voice becomes fatigued and hoarse. And once the singer's voice is tired, it is very hard to hit the notes accurately. Now let's reverse that scenario. The singer has too much of their own voice in the mix.
Lose my heart tonight if you don't turn and walk away.
So they're hearing themselves too much. It becomes really hard to gauge how loud you're singing. The singer will pull back when they should be belting it out. So it really results in an inconsistent performance. Also, if the singer hears too much of his or her own, his or her own voice in the mix, they don't hear the band correctly, and it's easy to fluctuate in pitch. Now, when you see a singer doing this, what they're saying to the sound person or to the monitor person is, I need more of me up in my monitor, in my ears, or down. So they're cueing that person. And if you see a singer really scowling, they're just not getting what they want out of the monitor mix. Okay, so now let's talk about frequency. And I know this is getting a little deep, but this is important for you to know. If you know anything about equalizers or EQs, you know that these equalizers or EQs control the frequencies that you hear. So the high frequencies, the low frequencies, the middle frequencies, and then of course you've got your high mids, you've got your low mids, but for the purposes of this video, we're just going to stick with high, low, and mids. So high end, let's say when you're speaking, is the sibilance, right? It's the s part of your voice, okay? So we can hear the breath here. The high end brings sparkle to the voice, let's say. The low end is the booming end of the spectrum of your voice, or the warmth part, the bass, the part you feel in your chest when you're speaking. Now the mids are where we find the presence of your voice. Maybe the meat of the voice. And we need them all, okay? We need all those frequencies in the right amounts to create a pleasing sound. The goal is for the singer to hear the monitor mix, or what's in their ears, a sound that is the truest to their own voice. But unfortunately, it's not always that easy. Sometimes it takes tweaking, or a lot of tweaking of the EQ to get the most desirable sound in the monitor mix. Now, like the volume part that we talked about earlier, the frequencies are equally as important. So let's say I have too much high end in the sound of my voice, okay, in the mix.
Believe in Jesus, if I believe in hell, if I have read.
I'm naturally going to start pushing the lower end of my voice to compensate so I have a more natural sound, right? So now let's look at the opposite end of the spectrum. Okay, now I'm hearing too much lows in my voice, not enough highs.
Believe in Jesus, if I believe in hell, if I have read.
Okay, not enough of those high frequencies. What am I going to do? I'm going to start compensating by pushing the higher end of my voice, right? And that's going to not only burn me out, but it's going to give you, it's going to make my voice sound very strange to the listener. And again, this fatigues the voice and makes it much more likely that the singer is going to go off pitch, because it's very hard to stay on pitch, especially with those big notes when your voice is strained. That's why a lot of times you'll see in a live performance a singer back off a note, their voice is tired, so they're not going to go to that. They're not going to try and hit that high note, right? So they maybe do, the octave below it or whatever it might be, because they know if they go for that high note, it's probably going to be flat or sharp because they just don't have the voice to hit it at that moment. They're fatigued. Now, there's other variables too that go along with why a singer might be pitchy on stage. But to go into those, it would make this video way too long. So in closing, I guess what I want to say is next time you're watching a live show and the singer is a bit off here and there, rather than thinking or saying in your head, man, that singer stinks, and we all do it, right? We all do it. Just remember, there could be stuff going on up there on stage that's affecting their performance. We singers know when we give an off performance, and frankly, it's devastating to us. We want to give you our best always. If you like the idea of this series, the Did You Know, let me know in the comments below. If there's a subject you would like us to touch on, drop it in the comments. And for you singers out there who are watching this video, I'm sure you've been through this, and I would love to know what you do or what your experience has been, and what you do to avoid these kind of pitfalls in a performance. Please just leave it in the comments below. Okay, so before I say goodbye, I just want to encourage you to go to our website. Our music is on the website. Love for you to listen to it. Download it. We've got a free download, I believe, of Let's Kiss right now. The website is giandjo.com. That's giandjo.com. And you can also follow us on Instagram @giandjo and on Facebook @giandjo. Well, I hope you got something from this video. I thought it might be interesting for you to get a little glimpse of a behind the scenes or on stage bird's eye view, I guess, as to what pitchy means and why it happens, at least in a technical sense. Okay. Well, until next time, until next video, may God bless you, may He keep you close, and bye-bye.